to any artist or any like music person, I would say study marketing or business building, because when I'm getting to work with Skepta, there's no part of me that's like trying to like reputation over money a lot.
Mr. XFN, welcome to the podcast, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited to have you here.
Good to be here. The perseverance towards greatness and like, everything having to be great and like that. And that's why any of the artists that we do work with, the ones we can say and the ones we don't say too, is I think all of that's off the reputation. So a real connection is no joke. Yeah. And I think that's what Exhale is. When you look at everyone who's in it, value is completely intangible because it's a loyalty, it's a connection, it's a love. And that's just...
Y'all from AO?
No, they're all from Ireland. Nothing I'm good at. I dropped out of school. Like I didn't, like there's nothing I've never been good at anything. Like, you know when you're just looking for like a signal to be like, no, I'm alright at that. Even with like Victory Lap or Fred Again and Skepta, the song was created on a live stream with Black Boy Mac. I think that's what we're kind of best at, is like seeing
the opportunities.
Yeah, it's getting the dig call. Like that's what's so insane about it. It's like, it's real. Spotify algorithm works the exact same way. If you show the small pool of the right people, it's just going to explode it out to all of those correct.
So how are you guaranteeing that happens?
Just like, that's like the intuition part. It's
okay. Where does your self-awareness come from? Because for you to be in these environments with these artists, there's a great degree of your thought process.
Yeah, that's a good question. It all comes from the place that I'm like naturally, I just obsess and like kind of research everything.
Yeah. What is it like working with like artists like of the caliber of, I keep going back to Skepta because Now, before we jump into today's episode, this podcast is brought to you by the Bond Brothers. And the question I have for you is, wouldn't you want to be walking around feeling like the man? I feel like that's a complete no-brainer. There's a real psychology behind how we dress, and when we look sharp, we move differently. And that's where the Bond Brothers come in. Irish Groomswear Supplier of the Year with their premium store in Goatstown. They offer luxury wedding suits, tuxedos, and expert personal fittings to make sure that you show up like a man on a mission. Head over to the Bond Brothers Instagram and contact Brendan, and he will make sure that you walk away looking dapper. Bond Brothers, where confidence is tailored.
Fire.
And don't mind, you can pull it and move and weave and bring it in out. But that kind of creative desire, that's always obviously been within you. You just unleash it now on what you're doing.
I think it's just coming out more and more and more and more.
And do you think there's more layers to unravel with it as well?
I think so. Yeah. I don't ever want to put like there's no limitation on it or a ceiling on it.
There really is no ceiling to creativity though. Like
no,
humans are meant to create things.
Yeah.
Like we are God's highest form of creation, and then on top of that, how we reward Him is by being creative in the world.
Yeah.
And that's like so
important. And serving. I think that's the other part. You create things to serve too. So I think that's like everything's service as well. Like for me anyway.
It's always just in like you said, service, but it's just like do it for other people.
Yeah.
Don't solely do it for yourself, because you're not truly giving your gift in. It's to spread the love, joy, creativity into the world by being of service and letting what you are born to do, let that come through you.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
No, it really is.
No, it's special. Mr. XFN, welcome to the podcast, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited to have you here.
Good to be here.
This is crazy how it all came to be. To give people a bit of context, right?
Yeah.
I came across a TikTok video when I was on TikTok. 5 years ago, and you were covering grime artists and kind of rap artists from the UK at the time, and there was one video in particular, it was Jay Huss one. Yeah. And the breakdown I thought was incredible.
Cheers.
It was so precise, and you were the way you were coming across and the way you were articulating, I was like, this guy knows his shit about this artist.
Yeah.
And I was very taken back, so I followed you on TikTok and somehow I found your Instagram.
Yeah.
And since then, man, you have just grown and grown and grown and grown. And now obviously I predominantly follow you on Instagram.
Yeah, we're locked in.
We're locked in, baby. We're locked in. But like, you're like the artists you're working with now, which we'll touch on in a second, are literally the top of the game, man. Like, you're not really getting bigger. And we'll keep the names a secret for a second, but the listeners are about to find out. But man, you have grown tremendously. I'm just fascinated. How did it originate? Where was the first kind of idea to start doing these insights into these UK artists and like promoting their work, but also kind of promoting yourself by you analysing how good they are?
Yeah, I think it all comes from the place that I'm like naturally, I just obsess and like kind of research everything. I'm just trying to always understand where everything's at. So I had all the knowledge in my head, and I loved all like the YouTube kind of long form like story breakdown videos on artists. But also when I was watching them, I always felt like the variable of why it worked was like missing a lot of the time. Like because obviously anyone who's doing that content it's from an observer perspective. You don't know for sure if that actually was a play or that was meant to be that way. And I think I'm always very interested in like the defining variables in things. Like
the micro details.
Yeah, and same way, even if it's like you're in the gym, it's small things in the nutrition that will have the biggest, like obviously you still got to do everything, the
fundamentals,
you need to do, but there's these like tiny points that you can kind of shift and like give better results from. So I kind of saw it like that. And at the time, obviously, we just had fucking no money, and we just had nothing.
You started this in your bedroom in Mayo.
Yeah, a lot of the early
in Westport
stuff.
of all places.
Yeah.
What a spot, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. And then
shout out to Westport.
Exactly, shout out to Westport. So yeah, there was a group of us. It was me and my friends. At this time, actually, we had during. Sorry, I'm telling the full story.
Man, no,
it's important.
We got back and forth. So whatever you want to spiel it.
So, pandemic. We had. Basically, I'd gone back. I had tried to move to London. I was there for a week, and then the pandemic happened. So I fucking went back to Westport because I was like, I don't really know what's going to happen or where I'm going to go. And I was in Dublin for like 3 years before that.
Yeah.
So I was back home for 2 months, and then Matthew, who's one of my best friends and also part of XL, one of the founders of XL, he basically convinced us all, because at the time it was quite cheap to rent houses in Galway.
Yeah.
Because the pandemic, everything was down, and Galway's a huge college town, so basically people weren't staying in the houses.
Yeah.
So he was like, look, we can get this fucking like 6-bedroom gaff in Dunnacorba, which is just beside NUIG. And he was like, and we can all just move in there and just do all the shit we're doing out of the house for a couple of months. So that's where it actually all started. It all started we all knew each other already and we're all friends, but we decided to move into a house together and just start trying stuff. And then I was learning about everything I was learning about, and then cycle on like a year and a half, because there was a lot of other stuff that we had to do there. And then then I started writing the kind of scripts, and I was like, I want to, because I was doing like the music, my own music was the main thing I was doing at that time. But like it was like I can't work a job and do, I was like, I just can't, whatever I'm doing has to all be in the same
good.
Has to be in the same like wheelhouse. Like I was like, it has to be in the same world.
I think that is so important.
Yeah, you probably relate to that.
Yeah, like the single-minded focus. Like when it's deviated across different jobs or projects, your brain just can't optimize the task as well. You really need to have like the blinkers have with a horse. It's like, I am doing this one thing in this one industry. And for you, it's just music. Yeah,
which actually was back to, which you can probably relate to too. There was some Hormozy quote about that as well, about you got to pick an industry and become like fully capable within that industry. And if you do that, you're virtually always guaranteed to make money. So that's kind of part of the reason we did.
That's a great point, man. Become the best at what you do.
Yeah,
become undeniable.
Like one thing, and build out. And that doesn't mean you can't do, like in my case, you can do marketing, you can do music, you can do all the things within that thing, but you just got to keep it within that one kind of line of expertise. So anyway, through all of that, I was like, I need to figure out a fucking way to make money,
monetize it,
and just like, and not make real money, just like get by while I'm still doing everything else. So I started writing the XL Fin videos, and I was like, if I put enough of these out and like put them like high enough quality and make them like a YouTube level quality but on TikTok, then I was like, surely someone will give a fuck and someone will reach out or like want to do something with us. And we already had a track record at that time too. Like we had done some like interesting stuff, but just not to anywhere near the same scale. And it was not consistent. It's like you might get a couple $100 here or $1,000 here to do something, and then it'd be nothing else for like 2 months away.
Sporadic, like.
So I was like, hopefully this can kind of create more consistency. So we started posting those videos. We posted those videos for like a whole year, like non-stop. I was writing the scripts. Connor, who's one of my best friends, he was doing the original videos. Then my brother was doing the edits, and then Dylan, who's another one of my friends, he was helping with the script. Like, because we were putting out a lot of them. Like we were putting out like daily videos, and they're not simple. Like there's a lot
for anyone that's ever edited content. It is time consuming.
And even the script writing, because you're writing virtually like a little essay. And it has to all be factual, and then sometimes you get something wrong, and then everyone's in the comments saying, "Oh, this is," and like you're trying to keep a certain like reputation, so
professionalism,
you keep it to a highest level. So we basically did that for like 8 months to a year, I'd say, and then off the back of that, every time we'd post one of them, someone would reach out, or someone would like the video that worked at a label or managed an artist, or an artist would see it, and every time I was just like jumping on phone calls with all those people. And that's kind of how
it came to be.
The whole thing came about.
Yeah, and I love it.
In a fast track.
In a very fast track, because obviously you're 5 years since I came across your first video. But in regards to like, I love what you said before we got going on the podcast, that you had to turn your ideas into money at some stage. That was obviously the main thing for you, so you can turn this into, which is now your full-time profession. And like I said, you're working with the biggest of the best. But how did it all come about? So like you were making these videos. detailing the artists and their success and where they come from, and just kind of more of their background and why you loved the music they were creating and kind of the impact they were having on the generations as well. But so what was your in to getting involved with, you know, these artists and promoting their work? Because like your side of work now is all marketing. Yeah. Like, how would you describe what Exhale Finn, not Exhale Finn, but Exhale. Your name is Finn. Yeah. The brand's name is Exhale. Yeah. How would you describe what Exhale does? Yeah. For artists.
The most like simple way.
I know you can maybe give away what you can give away, because obviously
all good. The baseline of it is you have an artist that wants to achieve something or speak to a specific audience, and then you have the audience, and I see our job as the in between of how you package that and how you resonate with the desired audience. And I think we understand the audiences really well a lot of the time, and we know what people want from an artist. But I guess my goal all the time is to make sure that the art doesn't get compromised, but that the audience care. And that they're the two things. So it's not like I'm not trying to make any artist just like do a shit TikTok or do like something that's not on
something
the brand,
that's not them. Yeah,
because you're trying to protect the brand. Like you're trying to make sure that the brand, because all of the mediums change. Like sometimes it's music videos, sometimes it's TikToks, and fucking 5 years it'll be whatever it is then. So the formats that the art gets perceived through are always changing. Yeah, but 1 3-year run of it being pushed through the wrong format can destroy a whole career. Like you see that a lot of the time with an established artist that then gets on TikTok and they're doing it too hard and it feels cringy, or it feels, and then every other artist is like, that's fucking cringe and it doesn't work. Yeah. So my job is to take, or the way I look at it is, you have the artist and you have what they're about and the music that they're trying to roll out. You have the audience, and you can realistically, a lot of time I hear the music and I'm like, the audience they're not going to care about this. Like they're not, it's not being packaged or presented in a way that they're going to care about. So we're taking the artist content, taking the music itself, and just finding ways that we can engage a younger audience or engage whoever the desired audience is. Yeah. And basically my goal is to keep the artistic integrity, but also invite like the right people into that.
And is that difficult to do? Like, what are the challenges you face when you're trying to promote an artist's work? Because obviously, like, anyone that follows you or knows of you, I'm a big fan of Skepta. You're working with Skepta, which is pretty incredible. So how are you packaging up his work now to hit a younger demographic on TikTok?
Yeah, it's different with every person, and a lot of time it's not like a lot of time I'm not necessarily going to the artist and be like, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to hit the kids and like let them know. But he might do something and I'm like, wow, this would really work over here as well. Or like these people would care about it and they don't even know about it at the moment. So a lot of the time it's just taking what they're already doing and basically just creatively thinking of different places that you can place that. And even if you look, not that, and again, none of these things are always just me. Like there's loads of other people involved in all of these things. I just play a small part in it. But even with like Victory Lap with Fred Again and Skepta, the song was created on a live stream with Black Boy Max. The song is amazing, but the fact that it came through that vessel of a Twitch stream, and then it was clipped and it was put everywhere, and it felt so current and exciting. So that's kind of what I'm always doing is like, that's an exciting thing. That's probably more exciting than just Skepta and Fred working together, because that is a big deal, but it's not a big deal to like 16-year-olds.
So you're making it more current for...
Yeah, so you're like, okay, if we take the stream and we put it within the Black Boy Max angle and we use that as an angle to push and grow like a narrative or grow the song, basically. Yeah. I think that's what we're kind of best at, is like seeing...
the opportunities.
Yeah, they're already doing these things. I'm not like saying, hey, you should get on a fucking Twitch stream and do... Like, that's the team. Like,
so do they have that Fred Again song with... or Victory Lap with Skepta as well? Do they have that song already made, or they actually... They made it?
Every part of that is real. That's one of like few things where...
Wow, that's very organic.
Every part of it's real. Like, Fred was on the stream. He did make that on the stream. Skepta did call. Like, it's all... That's what's so insane about it. It's like, it's real. Like, no part of that was actually... false.
And then your job is to promote it and push it. And like, is your main objective to get more listeners in, or like, what is it? Just brand awareness or awareness of the artist, or kind of what's like your objective?
So the objectives can change depending on the artist team. Like some artist teams might want X, Y, and Z objective for. They might try to just blow up the song. Yeah. But I think the through line always is, how do you find the right people and just show it to the right people? Because everything on the internet, everything that's algorithm based, is all down to showing the right people and not the wrong people. So if you can show 1,000 of the correct kind of person, the engagement's going to be way up on that post off of rip, which means it's going to get showed to more people in that pocket. Spotify algorithm works the exact same way. If you show the small pool of the right people, it's just going to explode it out to all of those correct people. Whereas if you...
So how are you guaranteeing that happens?
Just like, that's like the intuition part. It's like, it's me like taking you and be like, well, what does the archetype of James care about?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, cool. So if I have, again, it's a bad example, but if Skepta was to lean into like the motivational side of his brand and speak on that a little bit more, and maybe be seen in a couple of gyms or alongside some specific fighters, then I'm gonna make the archetype of James care about Skepta more, because at their relation points, like you're in the gym, you can see, or Bugsy Malone even is a perfect example with the Chris Williamson podcast. You take what he's done there, he's come on as a brand and he's talking to a massively male audience who are all, striving to do something.
Yeah.
He does talk about the music in the podcast, but what he really talks about is training in the gym, boxing, defending his house when crazy shit happened. Like, and those things, if I'm taking that, again, I had nothing to do with that, but I would take that and be like, right, if we're trying to grow the male 20 to 28 like age group, then we need to take these clips and just put them fucking everywhere in that pocket. And by doing that, you're also protecting the brand, because you're not just leading with one narrative to everyone. You're leading with that narrative to those people. But then for the people who are from where he's from, you're probably going to hone in on the lyrics more, because they relate to the lyrics. They're about Manchester. They're about their own experiences.
And how do you channel that? Like, how do you determine where the algorithm will show? Like, you touched on intuition there. So you're leading based on your own accord, your own navigation. Yeah. But like, how are you like, I wanted to hit this core audience, or this like ICP, like this ideal client profile? Like, how do you make sure that's going in the direction?
Well, we've a load of different like ways that you can try and do it. You again, you can never guarantee, and things will always surprise you, and things will always go in pockets that you don't think they're going to go in. But it's, well, with a lot of the pages and stuff we run, we've trained the algorithm to be speaking to a specific audience already with whatever the content is on it, or whatever. Again, most algorithms work off of keywords and like basically being placed within something. So if for example, if Bugsy Malone has a show last night in Dublin, and I'm trying to make more people in Ireland care about Bugsy Malone, that's my opportunity. So if I can get Dublin, the name of the venue, the artist's name, and like, let's say Dermot Kennedy comes out to perform, and I can get all of those things which are like Irish people know about Dermot Kennedy, Dublin, the Olympia, fucking whatever other variables will come into that. And I'm like, if we can get all of those variables into a caption or into like the keywording of the video, and we post it the night, like half an hour after like Bugsy Malone's come off stage, that's going to erupt. We're going to get 3 million views in Dublin.
I love that, man.
You've reached all the people in Dublin. It's great.
And have you ever curated a piece of content that has really been like a home run, and like you predicted that it was going to be? Has there ever been like I'm guessing there might have been at some stage.
Yeah, the one that I think was for me anyway, the one that I was most excited about was we did AJ Tracey and Jorja Smith had a song called Crush that came out earlier on.
Oh yeah. They're going to dress up in pink for it.
Yeah.
I remember, man. I remember that video.
So we did
I don't miss a beat, man.
You're locked in. So we did the short form for that. So all the reels and TikToks. And when I heard the song, I was like, we have to go with the part where George is rapping, because people haven't seen that before really from her, and because she's such an incredible singer. I was like, and the rapping part's really good. It's just 8 bars in the middle of the song, and it's so perfect to me. So I was like, if we do that classic kind of above camera looking down, it feels kind of retro, it feels kind of like early 2000s, and people just hear Georgia rapping in the first like 2 seconds. I was like, that's going to take every like.
Were you on set for the actual music video?
Yeah, we shot. Well, like we didn't shoot the music video, we just shot.
So you are the kind of the creative director of how this music video is going, to some extent.
Well, for the vertical stuff, like there's a whole, like there's a director, there's a production team, there's everything for the actual music video. And then there might be like 10 minutes between switching over, and I'll be like to AJ, like, yo, we should film this here.
No way.
In front of that car, because it's similar to the set. That's another thing I'm big on, is it's building a world. So the music video is never going to go viral. You can't post that and make anyone care because it's not for new people. It's for people who are already like
current
enjoy the artist.
Yeah.
So, but if the short form piece lives within the universe of that set and that kind of story, then you're managing to make a TikTok, but also keep the brand strong.
Yeah, of course.
Keep it all like lining up with who AJ is or whoever the artist is. But in that case, yeah. So I was like, we'll do the rap part for Jorja's thing. I said it to Connor and we were like, yeah, cool, we'll go with that. And then the idea was basically you have AJ in the background. There's a lot of history to AJ and Jorja because of Labrador Grove, which is a song from years ago, and she sampled on it. So I was like, if you have Jorja singing, AJ in the back, sorry, not Jorja singing, Jorja rapping, AJ in the back, this set, people haven't heard Jorja rap before, and you drop that, like, I can't remember what the exact thing was. I think it was 2 days before it came out. I was like, that has got to shock everyone because they haven't heard Jorja rap, and it's an AJ song, and people have been wanting that for ages. And that did like 30 million views. It's like the most viral. That's always what we're thinking. It's like, how do you get the most viral thing that person has done yet? It's not about like reaching 100 million views or like trying to. It's just if that person's doing 500,000 views and I can get them to do 1.5 million views, that's the win, because you're not trying to make them mainstream. You're just trying to find more people within their audience.
And what does the virality of a video like that with Jorja Smith rapping? What's the success that comes off the back of that? Is that just like drive of traffic to the song, or is that the main focus? Or
I think so. In that case, that one definitely translates. Depending on what's in the content, it can be different things. Like even using your video, for example, the one. The flow statement that I fucking love.
You sampled that onto oh man, I was laughing so hard, man. You said I was like, what is this video about? And then I hear my own voice like, geez, here we go, man, here we go.
but that's just taking that video, right?
Yeah.
That video comes out and you can never exactly like tell what is going to come from the video. So like when a Jorja video gets 30 million views, you're hoping that it translates to the song and people go listen to the song. And ideally, if 30 million people see it, some amount of people are going to go look at the song. But depending on what the content is, like using your piece, that is maybe not a viral piece of content, but it's a piece of content that completely stopped me in my tracks and was like, wow. And it made me see you differently after that video. Like, not that I already really loved what you were doing, but I was like, wow, this is really good. Like, this has like, it's your voice and it's the way you're walking around and it's the music in the background. And then that makes me DM you that day and then you DM me back.
Now we're here.
I think all of social media and all of just like things you put out there and create in the world is the currency is not tangible. Like, it's not just streams on Spotify or sales on an e-commerce site. It's just like the brand and the momentum and you never know what it is. Sometimes it's one phone call or it's one person.
You don't know what doors is going to open.
Forgotten to reply to you, and then that person ends up being the person that fucking does crazy things for you somewhere else. So I think it's different, and you can never fully tell exactly what's going to come when you obviously get like a viral video. But yeah, even the XL Film videos is the same example. It's like 2 million people might see a video. Realistically, like 95% of them are just watching the video and that's that. But there's a 5% in there that work at a label or manage an artist or are an artist themselves and might send a DM, and then that turns into us working with them. Or like you never know.
You never know. You never know who's going to watch.
But you can have an intention too. You can have like I'm trying to earn the respect of this, or I'm trying to prove that I am good at this. Or,
is your work very intentional? Like, do you go into each and every post that you put out there? I'm guessing you do. You come across as someone that is intentional, but like, along with being intentional, is there a certain element of just like, this is what I want to create at the same time, or do they kind of both feed into each other?
Yeah, they definitely do. I think there's. And obviously, once you're doing so many at scale, and I'm not even doing a lot of them. I'm just kind of at this point just like managing and building, and keeping everything under control on my little side of it. But what would I say? Yeah, I'd say I'm very intentional with like every conversation I have, every message I send, anything I try and do. I'm trying to be as intentional as possible, because I think you have to have intention behind
what you do in life.
It's like conviction or whatever.
Yes.
Which I know you also.
You gotta have it, man. You gotta have it. Yeah.
So I think I would definitely say there's conviction. Sometimes you're not able to have conviction because things are out of your control too. Like the artist might want to do this and I don't agree, but it's not my place to like get in the way of that, because at the end of the day your job's to facilitate. It's not, again, it's serving. Like everything is serving. I'm there to serve an idea and make sure that the idea in some way, like comes to life.
I love what you said there about like, you know, and we actually touched off the off podcast as well. What is your approach to meeting different artists? Because I'm sure they're big personalities, their energy is always different, and obviously you're going to meet different people in life. How do you approach the first interactions or just any interactions with any sort of artist? Like, is there any things that you go in with? Because obviously you must be a great people's person, and you are, to work with these to work with these high profile people. It's a big deal, you know. What is your approach when you first meet them? Is it just like always see what their energy's like, or like what comes across your mind when you're first engaging with them?
I think the first thing is, again, it's the intentions. So it's like knowing why I'm there and knowing that my intentions are pure. So I think, because if I ever don't feel like that, and there's times when, and you get pulled into things sometimes, and again, I've never ever followed through on any of those things because conviction and your reputation comes before everything. But a lot of the time I know why I'm here and what I'm here to do for that person. And because everything's context. Like, that's when you're, how do you say it? When you're there, like, if we're just meeting in a pub and there's no context to the thing, that's almost a more difficult conversation to have. But if I come in here today and I know that you respect me and I respect you and we're here to have a conversation, well then I kind of know the intention and the energy I'm like entering that room with and what I'm trying to get out of it. So there's no point me coming in here all like tired and things. We're here to have a great conversation. So I kind of have the same thing when if I'm meeting an artist under the context of a shoot. Well, I'm here. I got to bring energy. I got to like feed off what they're feeling. I've got to kind of meet them where they're at. I can't come in too strong. I can't come in too low because I'm there to bring their thing to life. Now, it's different if I'm trying to win over an artist or like prove. Then I got to come in with a different energy. So it's kind of it's meeting people where they're at and knowing that you're comfortable with the good and the bad, like the good outcome and the bad outcome of you like approaching.
And I think it's very important what you touched on there is like don't come in too high energy or too low energy, come in with the right energy, but to always be adaptable to people in life, because not everyone you meet is going to be the same, and they have their different ways of being, and it's just for you to be aware. That's kind of a follow-up question I was going to ask you, Finn, is like, where does your self-awareness come from? Because for you to be in these environments with these artists, there's a great degree of your thought process, of how you behave, of how you act, of the energy you bring into a certain situation. Where does that self-awareness come for you?
That's a good question.
Because when we touched it, we had a call about, I think, maybe 6-8 weeks ago at this stage, man. Just on a Google Meets. And first I was like,
thank God we did.
Yeah, thank God we did, man. Yeah, because it led to this. And we spoke for nearly an hour and a half. I was like, this guy, man. And like all we done was just follow each other and kind of message each other back and forth. But I was really taken back by your level of self-development. And you touched on like when you were 16 or something when you got into self-development. I was like, it makes so much sense why this guy is so successful, so young in his career, is because he's just been hyper aware of his habits, thought patterns, behaviors, how he's showing up in the world. And like, if you were to walk into a room where, whether it be Skepta or Fred again, man, you've got to carry yourself well. You've got to have confidence and conviction in your tonality and how you're coming across. And they have to see you as an authority to help build their brand. You know, that level, like, you've got to be fucking self-aware, man. You're not just like idly walking through life going, I hope this works, I hope that works. No, you're like, man, we're gonna fucking blow this up right now. And like, you saying that to him and him trusting in you, and like, it was just based on your Instagram, man. I'm just seeing all these, like I said, these carousel photos. Like, fucking Finn is doing it, man. Finn's doing it. He's on the boats now.
We on a boat.
We're on a boat, man. The fucking Rolls Royce and Skepta hitting the punch bag. I'm like, fucking hell, man. This is impressive. But the point I'm trying to ask, or the question I'm trying to get across, like, where has your self-awareness come from? Because like, this hasn't happened by chance.
I think in all work situations, it's the serving thing. So it's like, my self-awareness comes from, I'm here to do a job, and nothing about this is to do with me. Like, because I worked in like, I started work when I was like 15. I was working in hotels and like bars and a lot of all service-based jobs. And I think, even in that world, one of the hotels I worked in was like quite a high-end hotel where I'm from, and you'd have all sorts of people coming through. And again, I think maybe the context of that, of knowing that you're just there to serve, like, you're there to fucking make the coffee, or you're there to like put the dinner on the table, and that's all in that context, in that environment. So I think it's serving the idea and the goal. And I think if you're if you truly are enthusiastic and optimistic about, and just if you believe, because I think in the music industry is a very cynical industry, like very cynical, like the kind of people it attracts, or just like the archetype. Same way finance is a certain type of person. Someone who's very driven, very like numbers focused, very like logic based. I would say music has quite a lot of cynical kind of people in it.
Really,
on the working side, not on the artist side.
Why they don't think something's going to perform well, or
because it's the currency of the music industry from an industry side is whatever you're currently affiliated with, or whatever, like it's a hard currency it's a currency of status, but it's also a currency of taste. So if I say something is going to go, or I'm backing an artist that I do believe in and it doesn't, or that artist ends up not being like what people thought it was, or it ends up crashing out and doing some crazy shit, or like that all has a direct like knock-on effect to you as the person behind it, whether you're the A&R or the manager or the marketer a lot of the time. So because of that, you have a lot of cynical kind of, you almost kind of like I'm not like this, but you're constantly training yourself to see how things wouldn't work.
Okay.
Because that's kind of the job a lot of the time, is to see the gaps in things, see the problems.
Yeah.
But I think my approach is always like insanely optimistic publicly, and then in private I'm like basically trying to like nitpick every single problem in
you've already solved the problems before they happen.
I'm trying to be like that. But I think if you're optimistic, I just think you have to be relentlessly optimistic in anything you do, and like relentlessly enthusiastic. So I think that's maybe what people take from me a lot, is that they just like having me around because I'm like that.
The energy you bring, man, that it's a unique thing.
It's the same thing with you. The same thing of like, but of course you can do it. Like even when you had what was his name, the Maximus Lally. I was listening to that, and just the part when you're saying you'll be in the UFC, you'll be in the thing, like being able to. That makes someone like that so much more comfortable in the point in that situation too, because you're like, oh, they actually do think I'm going to do it, so now I can fully express myself. So if I'm in a room with an artist and I'm like, they're like, I don't know if we can do that. I'm like, we can do that. We can 100% do that, because if you don't fucking believe it, and I don't believe it, then it's definitely not going to happen. So I think that's part of it too. Is just like that kind of unwavering. You gotta commit. You gotta commit to the belief as well.
The belief's everything in life, man. Like, and for you must have had a lot of belief in Exhale taking off at some stage as well.
Yeah. You don't have any other option. That's when you
had no plan B.
No, we had no plan B.
Okay.
Like, no one has any plan B, and still don't. Like, you could still all go to, like, that's why I think I'm also very level-headed in, like, I'm not that, like, I'm grateful. I'm extremely grateful about it all. But I'm not under any, like,
like an illusion.
I'm under no illusion that all it takes is 3 bad months and the whole thing, like, at any point, that's just how business are, especially in music, because you have the cash flow of music, and the way it's like, if you're committing to paying 10 people a month, and then you also have one slow payment on an invoice, or one contract that doesn't, like, there's all these which is why I actually really love working in music, because the business building side of it's really fun, like, because it's so fucking chaotic compared to most other businesses, but that kind of suits.
Is there any predictability to it then?
I think
how do you predict having a good month?
There's patterns in all good.
Keep pouring out though.
I think there's patterns in everything, and you just have to start to find the kind of patterns. But I wouldn't say there's fuck all predictability in music.
What is it like working with like artists like of the caliber of, I keep going back to Skepta because I just see him. Because obviously
he's my favorite one. So.
Is he? Yeah. What is it like? Like, what have you learned from just being around him?
Actually, but that was the thing I was going to touch on earlier, was on what you're saying about how you meet them and when you meet them. The intention I'm going into meeting someone is already very clear in my head. It's Phil Knight actually has a quote about it from the man behind Nike. He has a book called Shoe Dog, which is like one of my favorite books in the whole world. He has a part in it where he's like, the only time you fuck up a negotiation basically is when you don't know what you're going in to get. So if I'm coming in somewhere and I don't know what I have to leave with, well then you're always going to lose.
You're blindsided straight away.
You don't know where like baseline is. Like, what's a good outcome, what's a bad outcome. So same when I'm meeting any artist or any just like interesting or exciting person, I'm kind of already deciding what I'm trying to do in that situation. So like with the Skepta, the only thing I'm trying to do is like prove that I can continue to be like play a part in it and like have the ability to have like just hear him speak and like hear conversations from him, because I know that's so valuable to me. Like I know that a lot of the ways he's built things are ways that I have been inspired by building things, just in like approach and mentality and like ethos. Even down to his brother, like me and my brother are like locked in super tight. My brother works in Excel. You got Jamie, Skepta, the whole family. You got Julie. There's like it's literally the Adenuga family is like a brand in itself.
That's so special.
Yeah, no, it is. It's really exciting. So when I'm getting to work with Skepta, there's no part of me that's like trying to like have a picture or like get the video the first time or like try and like gain his like immediate respect, because you only ever gain those things, I think, from being around someone again and again and showing up and getting to know members of the team and having those members of the team be like, no, he's all right. Like,
it's what the other people are saying around.
Yeah, because it's never the artist, and that's the same for me. If nobody I know likes the person or connects with the person and they come into our sphere, they're never going to be around again.
No.
Because even if I like them, but if one person goes, not sure on that.
Your reputation, man, always fucking precedes you in life.
Yeah, it does.
It really does.
I think it comes from knowing what you're there to do. I know with the Skepta, I was there just to serve the small part I play in it and just get to listen to him speak and soak that up and soak up just like the way he truly thinks.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I get to soak up the way he thinks even for a couple of months or a couple of times over a year, I was like, that's like...
And it's been a continuum.
That's everything I need.
Yeah. And it's been a continuum for quite some time now.
We will get back to the conversation in just a second, but if you're enjoying this episode, please leave a 5-star review, share with a friend, and make sure to hit that follow button for the next episode. And what this will do is just help the podcast grow and grow so I can get bigger and better guests as we go along. All the best.
That's so cool, man. That's so cool. And from like a mentality aspect, because he seems so tuned in to just where he's directing his life to, whether it's fashion related, like even is he in house music now as well? Mass Tiempo stuff. I love that stuff, man. I love that tune actually. But like from a mentality aspect, what is something that you've picked up? Because he's great drive for life, but is there anything in particular from being around him and his energy you're like, wow, I like that about him, or like a different way of thinking?
Yeah, I think it's... Or the thing I've taken, again, obviously, I don't speak for him in any way, but just what I've taken from him, and been very grateful to take from him is, I think it's the perseverance towards greatness and like, everything having to be great, and like that greatness takes a lot longer than just like results and success does, in my opinion, and that's something I've just learned from like how he operates. And then I think also just if you... A lot of artists have like a 5-year career or a 10-year career, but something I relate to is I never want to stop doing anything I'm doing, whether that's music or whether that's marketing or whether that's rollouts or whether it's just chatting to people and building businesses, whatever it is. I don't think I can stop doing any of it.
There's no pinnacle.
Yeah, there's no point you reach, and I think that's what's so incredible. And not that you even have to be close to it to see that from him. You can see it in everything he does, all the different brands, all the different music, all the different albums, all the different like very in tune decisions he's made. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing I've taken from it is just like you can't stop playing, you can't stop, like you're only as like out of touch or out of the picture as you let yourself be, really. And if you stay tuned in and you stay very present and you protect your energy too, because I think that's a big part of it, is you got to block out so much stuff to stay in like a almost like childlike creative, because Phil Knight from Nike and Skepta would probably be two people that I'm very inspired by and very like sign up to the school of thought. Both of them are characters that at some point in interviews or in the books have said the goal is just to play for work. So it's like me building a business with my friends and us all building it together and owning it together. It's all fun.
Yeah.
Like it's me being here today is fun. Like, it's all fun.
But that doesn't come without the work, though.
No, of course it doesn't come out.
Yeah, it comes out, like the play comes, but the product is still produced. Whatever that product is.
And I think it's putting a play-like energy into work. And
because that keeps it alive. And that keeps the aliveness to it as well. Because like you want to be excited by the projects you work on. Because if not, life is very dull. I often find like play gives great colour to life. Play is like adds things that are exciting. You're curious. You're expanding out your energy. You want to get involved in it. And it keeps your soul alive. There's something about the creative element of life and feeding into the play element of it too. That's like, it just brings you
to another dimension of what you're here to do.
Yeah.
And it's just, I love that. Tell me about creativity in regards to yourself, Finn.
Yeah.
How do you tap into a creative flow? Because obviously you're a very creative guy, as we touched on in this podcast. But how do you go about becoming creative?
Yeah, I think it's the one when I was younger, I really struggled with understanding because I believed in like all the universal laws and I believed in all of those. Like, I don't know, I was very susceptible to those schools of thought. It didn't take much convincing.
You did believe?
Yeah, I did.
I no longer believe.
No, I still believe.
Oh,
no,
still
sorry,
believe.
no,
Okay.
no, that's not ever changed in my thing. But I'm saying I was able to take it in a lot quicker, I think, because of just whatever way I'd grown up or whatever way my mind works. And I think in doing that and then talking to other people about it, I realized that the really hard part to find, or like the most difficult part, is the purpose. So like I think creativity a lot of the time is on the other side of a purpose. If you have a really clear, I guess, direction that you're trying to go in or thing that you're trying to do, the creativity kind of flows through that. And I think when you don't have a purpose, and purpose is really hard to find. Like I think you're probably the same. You're just blessed to have a purpose. Not everyone does. Everyone does, but not. It can be fucking hard for some people.
You
to
have
find
to seek it.
Yeah, you really have to do it.
And it can change. It can have, a purpose can also change in your life. I think especially for men.
Yeah.
If there's
100%.
not a clear direction of where your life is going and why you're here, it can feel very empty.
Yeah, completely empty.
And that emptiness is not going to be a creative energy at all.
No, it's not. And you can't. Yeah, there's like almost you don't have even the parameters to put the creativity into.
Yes,
you're feeling
exactly.
So like empty.
Yeah.
Which is and I think
I love that. I love actually what you said there, man. Purpose is kind of foundation.
Yeah,
for you to go and play.
It is 100%.
Yeah,
like you have to have a reason, and you can almost kind of fake it too. Like it's whatever that initial spark is to just get you into doing it. So like for me, it's the purpose. I don't even have to think about it now because it's just part of what I do.
Yeah.
But that's because I know if I get up every day and do these things, that's worth doing.
Yeah.
But you have to think it's worth doing. Do you get me? Because if I was, I don't know, if I today was like I'm going to be an athlete. Well, I probably would find it really hard the first like 3 years of training because I'd be like, man, everything about my age, my lining up doesn't line up with me being able to like actually get there. So what's the point? Whereas with what I am doing and what my purpose is, I guess from the start, it's very easy for me to get up and out of bed every day and do the things because I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do and I'm lined up to do it.
Do you think everyone's got that inbuilt in them?
I think you can access it. Yeah, I think nearly everyone can access it. Like maybe there is.
Like you were born to be a creative director in music. Like music is your thing. Like do you find, like, was that gift given to you, or did you develop, or did you discover, or were you influenced to go that way, or were you nurtured to go into the music creative industry, or was it like something that was just like inside of you, but you were the one to go within yourself, seek out your purpose to then show it to the world?
Yeah, it's a
weird question, man, isn't it?
I think for me, none of it feels natural. And again, maybe I just have like a chip on my shoulder about the whole thing. Yeah. Maybe that is the way. But I don't feel like I was guided in any way on like anything I'm doing, like opportunity wise or music wise. But I think that's why I'm quite good at it, is it comes out of like pure necessity. Like there's nothing I'm good at. I dropped out of school. Like I didn't, like there's nothing I've never been good at anything. Like there's no sport I was good at. Like I would do all the things. Yeah. But there was no, you know, when you're just looking for like a signal to be like, no, I'm all right at that. Or there's some like there's some potential in that. Every sport I tried, every like lesson I did in school, I used to try and build all sorts of things when I was like a kid.
Were you seeking out like what you were going to be good at? Were you looking for it?
I think so, yeah. Like at the time, I don't know if I knew that, but I was definitely, and even like heroes and stuff like your Robin Hoods and your like Three Musketeers and all these different stories, and or like Tarzan or Jungle Book and all these kind of different characters that have a thing. And I think maybe I was always looking for that thing. And I definitely always had aspirations. Like I definitely wanted more from life, I think, from early. And I think that just comes from also not having much and being able to, well, I think the hard reality that keeps me driven is like you have to provide, which is, again, I think any man can relate to that. I think like, and I think I was weirdly young when I felt like I had to. And I don't think it was forced on me either. I think it was
just a realization.
I think I was just a realization of, I was like, if I want my mind to be in any way quiet or like secure, I have to be able to like I have to have the ability to fix like any problem that anyone around me has.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I actually never even said that.
Man, that's
really
a weird
realization. But I think that's what at a deeper level, I think that's what it comes from. So if I can, like, you know, if I know that my parents are going to be all right, or if I know that if like everything goes wrong, that I can solve those situations, or if I want all my friends to be happy, then they have to work in jobs that they like doing, or that we stay together. It's all these kind of things. So I think from a very young age, I was constantly searching for that thing. And for the first whole part of my life, it was just music, like rapping, like writing, being in bands, playing, doing shows, and I think that's also what's given me so much experience on the industry side and like the rollout side, is because I am an artist and because I've been an artist for so long, there's not really any part of it that I haven't gone through myself. So when someone's telling you to do something and they're like, I think you should just do this, I've been on the receiving side of that. Like, I know what that feels like. So I'm like, when someone's trying to convince me to do something, or like re-sing something a different way, or like take out a part of a song and restructure it this way, I know how that feels. So then when I'm talking to an artist, or I'm talking to any creative person, I'm like, bro, I know it feels like this, but if I were you, I would just look at it like this.
That is so important,
because that's
for
what
life,
you're trying to get to. And a lot of the time, like, I don't, again, because I'm on this like serving kind of mentality, I never give that context. I don't, like, most people that know me on the industry side don't know I do music, and most people who know me on a music side don't even know I work on anything in industry stuff or any of that. And that's not from a place of hiding it. It's just from a place of, it's showing up to do what you're there to do.
Yeah.
And I think, sorry, I'm going off track now.
No, it's brilliant, man. No, it's so professional.
There's a kind of a through piece to it, is if everything you're doing is serving like a bigger thing, like a bigger vision, then you only have to be the person that person needs in the moment. And like the same person I am for my dad when he calls me, or the person I am for my granny, or the person I am for my mum, or the person I am for an artist that's working with us, or the person I am when fucking everything goes to shit and you gotta solve a lot of problems, is people don't actually need, and I think this is, you know, when people talk about the whole thing of like a man is only as valuable as what you can kind of like extract from them or what they can provide, you know, that whole kind of quote. And that quote is a dark quote, and I think a lot of men can find maybe a lot of darkness in that, or a lot of like, well, it's just a kind of a sad reality to think that you're only, you only are your value.
It's a true reality.
Yeah, but it is, there's a truth to it. That doesn't, I think they're almost like two separate things. Is there's your value and status to the people around you, which is obviously always going to be built into your capabilities, your ability to provide, your ability to be present and, you know, be emotionally available, all those things. But I do, and then I think below that, there obviously people do love you for you, and I think that they're almost two different things. Do you know what I mean? Your like edge as a man is always to lead. Is always to lead with that. Like we can have this conversation.
You're not loved for your value. You're loved for being you first, and then the value comes.
Yeah, well, almost like a funnel. It's like if I go out and put so much value into the world and so much, like, just use this example here.
Yeah.
We have obviously, if we're to like subconsciously talk about it, you have seen value in me and I've seen value in you.
Yeah.
I'm like, great, I'll get a great conversation from my side. This is great for me to do. And for your side, you're like, this is an interesting conversation. It's something different to what I'm normally doing. So there's a set of a value proposition there between us two people.
Yeah.
That is just an accepted thing. But through us doing this and exchanging value, in 3 years' time, we might actually really know each other because of this set of things that we did, and the opportunity to allow me to get to know you, you to get to know me. And I think from putting so much value out and being, and like kind of accepting that you are just what you can provide, you find a lot of people that are way deeper than that, Jamie, and are actually love you for you, and then you kind of, it's just a time thing. It takes a lot of time to do that. So I kind of approach everything as, I'm here to provide, I'm here to deliver on whatever it is I'm here to do. And then I'm hoping that over time, 5% of those people might stick around and be like, oh yeah, actually, Finn's actually my guy. Like, he's actually my friend, or he's actually been around me or whatever. But I think you always have to start from just providing value, because that's just the way the world works.
And I think,
and it doesn't make it fake either. It doesn't make any of that shit fake. That's just what it is,
and that's the way it's always been as well. I think first off, like, everything in life is a value exchange. And that's not to be like cynical in any shape or form, but that's how life works. You know, if you aren't a person that is providing value into the world, it's not going to be reciprocated back to you. But also, men do
like, I would say, go up the hierarchies of life when they provide more value for more people.
Yeah.
But then an interesting point you came back to there about is the love element to it as well.
Yeah.
Like, are we loved because of the value we give, or just from who we are?
Yeah.
Is that what you were trying to touch on?
That's what I'm saying. Is I think through doing the top one, you find the people that just literally like any e-commerce funnel.
Yeah.
There's a load of people at the top who
Yeah.
like how the thing looks. Let's say it's like a cool looking product or whatever, or like I don't know, even personal trainer. Funnel, it's a perfect one. You see a personal trainer fucking pumping it. You're like, I look at you. I want to look like James. I want to live like James. Fuck yeah, because James is the part. Like, he looks the part. He's fucking putting in the work.
Stop.
No, but I'm just saying. What I'm saying. This is just how I'm
I know. Yeah.
And which is important. It means you're doing it right. Not even that you're doing personal training as such, but just as an archetype.
Yeah.
I see that content. I'm like, cool. I want to be like that, and he's doing that. Then I see another part. So I'm seeing that James has value, and let's pretend you are a personal trainer.
Yeah.
So now I'm seeing that. That's allowed me to identify that there's value in you. Then I might see another piece of content and you're speaking. And I'm like, wow, he's actually really emotionally intelligent too. So I actually think I'd like to work with James because he is the part, but he also seems like he's very like sensitive and able to have good conversations and able to like empathize with people. And maybe a lot of personal trainers can't do that. So that's the one I'm picking. But then so I've become aware of you via the value. But then I come down the funnel and I buy the thing and I'm now training with you and I'm doing that weekly. And through that, that's real. If you end up being a great person and I end up getting really good results and like just feel better about my life through that part was real. Everything was just presenting a value to get to the real connection.
I think I know what you mean now. I think I know what you mean.
Same way if you find your wife, it's like the reason you might have approached who becomes your wife is because
she's beautiful.
Yeah, she's beautiful and she's got an incredible outfit on and it speaks to your style or something about her speaks to you. But as you get to know her, you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, I need this woman.
Yeah.
I can't be without this woman. So that's how I see it, is like over time, you can't rush a real connection is no joke.
Yeah.
But so the more value you put out there, give it time, the real people,
it'll mature.
They just reveal themselves, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Exhale is. When you look at everyone who's in it, like if you just put us all up against the wall and asked us what we did, I don't think anybody'd be able to answer because they'd be like, well, I do the edits or I do the strategy or I do the business building. But everyone's value is completely intangible because it's a loyalty, it's a connection, it's a love, and that's just built over years.
In fact, you've 10 team members as well, man. It's incredible.
Yeah, there's like 10 of us. Yeah, fuck, I wonder if it's 10 or 12 because I always get the numbers wrong.
Are they all from AO?
No, they're all from Ireland.
Okay.
So most of them are from the West Coast. Sligo, Roscommon, Mayo.
Any Leitrim guys there?
No Leitrim, no.
No Leitrim.
Yeah, no, there's not. All right. No, there's not.
Okay.
We got a few friends from Leitrim, but they're not literally in it.
Yeah.
And then Connor, who's from Kildare / Lucan. And then
it's a big team, man.
Yeah.
Going back to you really touched a chord. You hit a chord with me anyway when you mentioned the providing bit. That's really interesting. So you're at a young age and you're like, I need to provide for everyone. Do you feel that weight and pressure nowadays in regards to inside of the business and organization you have with Exhale? Do you ever feel the kind of the pressure to continuously provide for everyone else, or is it like a collective thing that you're all kind of providing for each other?
It's both. I think. Okay. I think.
Are you at the? I'm not trying to put you in a entitled position here, but like, are you steering the ship forward of what Exhale is?
I think everyone plays a vital part.
It's a safe answer.
No. I'm gonna give an example though, because I think the example actually plays a lot into it. And I could make one of these examples about any member of our group, but I have a friend who's he's an artist, but he's just one of my best friends, and he's fucking incredible, and he does loads and loads of really interesting different things, as well as playing music and making music. And he's a super ambitious guy, and I speak to him a lot, and we chat most days. Like, he's just one of my best friends.
That's class.
And for the first year of him getting to know me, I think a lot of the time he thought, and keep in mind, he's a very ambitious guy. I think he thought that although he liked me a lot, that I was a little bit just like completely delusional with some of the stuff. So I'd be like, no, you can just do it. Like you do this and you do this and you put this together and it'll just work. And he's like, well, that's not how it works, brother. Like, you gotta fucking, there's so much work between that idea and doing the thing. So that's a lot of what I'm doing. And then when this person met Josh, who's one of the co-founders of Exhale, and he saw how operationally insane a Josh is, and just on a business building one, on a team managing one, on a visionary, just like hard skills, like just being able to make anything happen. And he called me and he was like, now I get why you are so fucking delusional, because he was like, you have these people behind you that can actually deliver on everything. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, that's so, and I think that's kind of almost what the archetypes are, is every single person is probably the best in their position.
Yeah.
And naturally, I just run very fast and have a lot of ideas and get very frustrated all the time that I can't bring these ideas to life. So then I bring them to a Josh or a Martin or any member of the team.
So everyone plays a key part.
Everyone's playing a key part, and everyone is playing a part in the ideas element of it. Like, by no means is it just me. But I think the part I play is like, I try run like 100 yards ahead, and then everyone's in the background making sure that fucking that I don't trip, basically.
Yes, yeah.
But that doesn't make me the leader as such. That I'm like the front facing piece. Same as an artist. In an artist setup, you have the artist who is perceived as the front facing brand.
Yeah.
But there is
the
CEO
team
of a major label that has 100 of these artists, and there is a manager who's calling all of those shots.
Yeah.
So although it's perceived as the artist is the front runner, big decision maker, genius, business guy, it's not. That person's job is to run in front and
there's a team behind it.
Yeah.
And I suppose any success in life comes from that team element. Like, as you were describing there, talking about going 100 yards ahead.
Yeah.
What popped into my mind was, you ever think like them Formula 1 drivers?
Yeah.
They're in the car, what's it called? Is it a car? Or Formula 1, whatever vehicle it is. Yeah. They have a team around them that's doing the wheels, switching tires, you know, so they can take off, come back around, and then they all celebrate when they win as a team. Yeah. And that's the core thing in life, is like, bring people in. It's about the people that you meet along the journey, not necessarily the journey itself. It's like, who has been there with you? 'Cause I'm sure you've got so many memories of the last 5 years. How many of you started off in Exhale? Was it just
10? Yeah.
You started with 10.
So that's the funny.
That is incredible, man.
The funny thing is, you have a load of people. So which is why you can't.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
We do. We have a couple of videos on YouTube. It's not. There's not enough on it. We're actually going to start putting a load more stuff out next year. But what was I saying with that? Yeah, sorry, I don't know if it was 10. I'm going to get these numbers mixed up.
Yeah, that's all good.
It's like 8, and then a couple other people come into the mix. So yeah, probably 8 core original, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
But that's the funny thing about when you have, on just the whole point of it having to work, you got 8 people that are all down to basically just suffer until it works. And although you have to make way more money for everyone to get paid, it's actually really easy, because you got 8 committed people to try and make something work.
And reinforcing them ideas, man. That's where power comes from. It's like a group consciousness. Yeah. Now we're all thinking the same way, and like, you might be leading it with the delusional way of thinking, but everyone's catching up to you, and they're seeing the progress that's happening. And like, for you, working with the bigger, not for you, but for Exhale, working with the bigger artists, man, you're just like getting like the delusional thinking is working.
Yeah. And also that a lot of the decisions I'm making are fueled by things that are happening. Like someone in the team might be like, damn man, I'd love to work with XYZ artist. And I'm like, okay, I'll keep that in my head, and then I'll be chatting to someone, and they'll be like, and they'll name drop that person. I'll be like, oh yeah, what are they up to?
Yeah.
Like, how can I get to them? Because I'm like, if I can do that, Martin's going to be buzzing if I can do that artist.
Yeah.
And it's essentially like deal making, I guess, a lot of time. But in my head, the deals are, how can I do the most exciting things that all my friends will be like, this is sick.
That's class.
And then also, how can we deliver the best possible thing for whoever it is.
How big does like the materialization of it in your mind play? Like, how do you like mentally come up with like a picture or visualizing this artist you want to work with? Do you think like, do you sit there and you visualize and what it might be like to meet them, or does it just do you go out there and make it happen?
Yeah, it's definitely both. I think it's less about the meeting of the artist, and because a lot of these artists I don't meet as well. Like
you meet their team.
You're always dealing with which I actually prefer, because there's only probably maybe 10 that I would love to meet and actually have a relationship with. Skepta obviously being one of them that I've been exposed to. But not everyone is someone that is like, I guess again identifying it, that like, would me and I don't know Eminem actually click? I don't think we would. Does that mean I'm not a huge fan? Yeah, of course I'm a huge fan. Yeah, it's fucking great. Yeah. But I don't think I need to. I don't think if me and Eminem sit down that much comes from that conversation. Okay. Whereas me, again, even just getting to be around a Skepta, I was like, because I can relate to it so much and it's so close to home. London's an hour away from Ireland. Like, you know, it's a very relatable thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, any conversation with that is like it's just a privilege, because I can directly relate it to how I think. Whereas with like maybe an Eminem, I can't, because it's like he's much older, he's from a different generation, different country, different thing. So I think, yeah. So a lot of the time you're dealing with the teams. Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Go back to the delusional way of thinking.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a downside to it?
Yeah, every day.
Really?
Day.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating to be around. Like,
really? Yeah.
If you're this delusional and you're constant, which maybe that is where the force to be self-aware comes from.
Yeah.
Is because you can really hurt people in the process of thinking this way too, because you're going so fast and you're thinking so big that you constantly run into problems where you can offend someone with something you say, or you can be like unsensitive to I'm trying to think of an example. I don't know, for example, let's say I have some idea and I'm like, it's easy. We just do da 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 da. And let's say someone in that team doesn't find that easy, or maybe you know, one of my friends is like has wanted to do that forever and hasn't been able to do it. And I'm just around saying it's easy. Just this and this together, and we put it out like this, and it'll go. But because I'm maybe being so aggressive in my, or like just so like so much conviction to what I believe is true. And although it might be true, that completely undermines how maybe someone feels, or like can alienate someone.
Yeah.
So I think there's, or even down to your own people. If I'm part of being delusional is constantly talking about big ideas, and big ideas can make, especially people who are invested in your life, like your partner or your family or your people like that. You're constantly threatening the security that they're trying to hold, if you get me too. Yeah. Because if I say, you know, like everything's going to be all good and we'll have money and we'll live in a nice house and there'll be no worries, but then I'm also like, I need to go on like a 50-date tour and I need to do this and this and this thing. And you're like, well, this ain't the person I'm trying to build a life with, or this ain't the person that I can rely on. They're trying to do.
How would you rein it in then?
things.
How would you rein that in? If like, because you can, like, I think delusional thinking definitely has its place.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a dreamer and visionary for your life. Yeah. But also, if you're always being delusional, you can float away with the fairies at some stage.
Yeah.
And like you said, you can lose touch with people that are more kind of level-headed, or maybe just more grounded.
Yeah. I think again, it comes back to the intentions thing. So I think the intention thing makes it really easy, because if my intention is to reach X, Y, and Z goal, but it hurts X, Y, and Z in the process, then I got to make a decision. Like, I have to decide my intentions, because are my intentions to hurt a person? No, it's not my intention to hurt a person, but it is my intention to get here. So I'm like constantly, I think that's maybe why I'm like decently good at deal making and just like negotiating deals with people, is we're all trying to get to this objective, but we can't let these three things happen.
Yeah.
So if this person feels upset about this person feels like they've been done wrong in the deal. I'm just going to use a deal as an example because it's easier. And this person, once the deal is signed, is going to feel different emotionally about that deal. Well, we got a problem, because that person's not going to deliver on the deal. This person's going to do the wrong job on the deal because they have resentment towards this thing and this person over here. So if this is the objective we're trying to get to and we can't get there, then I think I'm quite good at being delusional, but then going, right, that's not logical. Like, that's not, it doesn't have to be this thing. It can be a version of that thing, and everyone's happy in the process, and therefore we get a better result.
Yeah, so it's almost playing a balance.
I think, yes, it's balance. And I think that's where all the spiritual side and also knowing your intentions is really important. Because, and you see this a lot more in, I'd say, the US music industry, where it's a very like bulldoze kind of mentality. And it works. Like, it all of these ways work, but it's just who you end up being after it all works. Again, I think actually Bugsy Malone's a great reference for that, just as someone I can always respect and look up to, because at every single stage where he's kind of given a new set of decisions or a new set of access, he stays true to
his core,
the core thing that he's kind of set out to do, which is ownership. He could be doing 10x more on like the social PR side and like the boats and the yada yada.
Yeah.
But he prioritizes ownership of a property that he's maintaining and he's investing in and he's building things out in and he's making it perfect for the family when he has a family, and like because he's got a set goal. So I think that's always kind of how I'm looking at things too, is there's these goals, but the bigger goal is this thing. So if we're to get there, we have to keep all these people happy. And if you can't keep those people happy, then and do right by them, then you got to find a different way to do it.
Yeah. You touched on negotiations there. It's quite interesting.
Yeah.
How do you approach going into negotiations? Like is just to maybe give a bit of context, are you discussing like the price that management would pay you, or what does a negotiation actually look like?
Yeah, I think yeah, all good. Shall I get a sip of this?
Get some water on board.
I think with negotiating, generally it's deals between Exhale and a team, a label, a management company, artist, or any form of company really.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've got to figure out how to pay everyone, how to make some sort of a profit, but also not take the piss with the client. And I think a lot of the time I look at it from the client side, again, because I'm an artist, because I've paid for marketing, I've paid for things, I constantly have to pay for things myself, like just from an artist side. I know like maybe the emotional journey of those decisions. So I'm just constantly trying to meet people in the middle. I'm never trying to devalue the thing that we're doing or put pressure on the team, because that has a direct problem too. If we undercharge for something and now the team can't even make the money they need to do it, we're never going to do the job properly anyway. Yeah, because we just don't have the resources to. So yeah, I kind of take it. I take it out of the two entities, and I just try and understand what the person's trying to get out of it, and how we can get that. So I very much curate like an offering to, and I think that's the beauty of when it's your own company with your friends and you're all running it together, is you can have a conversation around, can we tweak our offering for this specific person because there's an opportunity in it long term. Whereas if you're A&Ring at like a major record label, the deals are structured a certain way, so there's only so much. Even if I think you're the best thing in the world, I can't offer you a 50-50 deal because a major label's not allowed to do a 50-50 deal. So it's always going to be at least 60 to 80% to the label, leaving the artist with 30 or 20 or whatever it is. Which is why I don't really like that side of it, because you only have a certain set of terms that you can fit something into. Whereas when it's your own company, and obviously we're not signing artists, but we're negotiating with teams all the time, I'm just trying to get the absolute most like impact for the artist, and make sure that we can continue to run. Of course, and like,
run your own business.
Run the business. And I think that's also why the business is kind of built off of a lot of reputation too, because I think I'll always take like reputation over money a lot of the time, I think. And that's why any of the artists that we do work with, the ones we can say and the ones we don't say too, is I think all of that's off the reputation. So if you're meeting them where they're at. I think that wasn't very good deal advice.
No. You give good context there. And in regards to like working with an artist, what has to align for you with them and with yourselves at Exhale? Because you said there like there's certain artists you won't take on.
Most we won't take on.
Really? So what has to align with what you do inside of Exhale that goes well or goes in alignment with the artists you're looking to work with?
I think most artists and teams are quite disappointing once you actually get to meet them. So
they're quite disappointing.
Yeah, they're like a lot of the things I would have like grown up like glorifying and seeing as genius and seeing as like incredible. And obviously this is not true to any of the ones we work with, because that's why we work with them, because we fucking think they're incredible. But a lot of the time there's you again, just like any business, you can see the bottleneck in the thing. So I might think the artist is great, but I know the manager isn't, and I know the manager doesn't understand the value, and them also building out their own kind of content team to service what we're doing and help or whatever it could be. So that's one point where I'm like, if I don't believe, if the art and more and more artists don't have visions, is what I've noticed in the last year.
Don't have a vision.
Like of where they're going.
They don't know where they're going, and they don't have aspirations. Like so many more artists.
What? Man, that doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Yeah, no, me neither. Well, it does. It does.
How don't you have a vision of the sense of direction where you're taking?
Trying to take it. Yeah, I know. It's mad.
That's that's the foundation of it.
Yeah,
it really is.
100% is.
The house cannot be built unless the vision is there.
Yeah, but I think what it is the music. It's easier than ever to make music.
Yeah,
and. What's a good like parallel to tie to it? Well, I guess it's the same way fashion's kind of like that, where you have a lot of people who enjoy being an influencer in the fashion space just because they like looking good. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's fine. But there's also a lot of fashion people who look the exact same, but they're actually like could tell you the threading of the trousers and like the needle that was used and what fabric it is. And although those two people look the same and they're both cool looking people, one is truly a master of there's a artist actually from Dublin called Desires. He's like a big fashion guy. He's incredible, and when you look at what he's doing, it's so striking and it's very influencer based. It's very just like popping and sharp, and it looks perfect. But when you chat to him, you'll be absolutely just blown away by his knowledge and like understanding of clothes and like detail. History of clothes and like when things were placed and when things were worn. And I think that's the same with just using that parallel with artists. There's a lot of artists that just want to make a song because they think that's cool, or like, they think it'd be sick to make a song, and they're actually quite good at it. Or they like making videos and songs, or they have a financial motivation. They're just trying to get out of a situation, and they think if I can blow up and I can get some money off a deal, that's all I need to do. Which I also empathize with too, because a lot of people in music are coming from very tough backgrounds. And if you're coming from a tough background, maybe you can't see the bigger vision. You can only think about getting 40 grand and sorting out some situations at home. So I'd say there's a lot more artists that are kind of just don't necessarily know why they're making music, but they enjoy making music. And then there's artists who have a really clear long-term heightened vision, and
they're the artists I'm guessing you want to work with.
They're the ones that I'm excited to work with, and I think most of the ones we work with reflect that most of the time, and in different ways, like in many different ways. Like it doesn't have to be a rapper it doesn't even have to be something that I necessarily love as much. It's just is that like relentless like,
because that's what gives you drive in life, I suppose.
Completely.
When you've got a grand vision of what your life is going to look like, you are just so you just on Skepta, like the pursuit, the persistence that he has for his own life. Of greatness. Greatness is like a vision that he has. I'm sure he's got to imagine his own mind, his own way. But that's what kind of keeps you going in life.
Has to.
And like that is everything. Like there's a famous quote in the Bible from King Solomon. He says, without a vision the people perish. Meaning like we need to have a roadmap inside of our own mind, a map of where we steer in this ship, which is ourselves. You know, what direction are we going in, what is the location, where are we looking to get to, which is very important. Another touch point I want to get out of yourself, Finn, is like attitude. You seem to have a great attitude, which has brought a lot of success for Exhale and just you as a person as well. How big does your attitude playing into successful outcomes in your own life, or what have you witnessed even being in the industries that you're in, or the high profile artists? Like what attitude, or like what is the key components of their attitude that has made them successful? Does that question make sense?
Yeah, I think so. I think well, the confidence and belief is by far obviously like the core, I think, one that everyone and
have you ever met anyone, right? Have you ever met an artist that was not confident or didn't have self-belief that did succeed?
I have actually.
Have you? Yeah.
It does happen. And
so they're like an anomaly, though.
Yeah, I'd say.
Okay.
And usually, a lot of the time, an artist can be so great musically, and just find someone that's behind them, like management wise, or behind them for just like a friend. And that's
giving them the belief.
That's just putting.
So you need someone around you.
Back.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think that's probably as regular as a super motivated, driven young person who makes it is too. Like they're kind of almost two archetypes. Like I think even if you take like a Billie Eilish, for example, Billie Eilish is just the most incredible singer and writer. But her brother, who produces all of her stuff and played a huge part, and is basically Billie Eilish is almost like a 2-person group. Her and her brother is the way I'd look at it. It's his And again, not saying that she doesn't have this now, but she was 13 when she was making music, so I don't think she did have this grand vision for it. I think she just knew how to like show what was inside of her, like emotionally and whatever she was feeling, and able to articulate it. But she had a brother who was obsessed with music production, obsessed with greatness in whatever his definition of it was.
Yeah.
And that's how you end up with the Billie Eilish, because you're someone who's willing to sit with the songs for hours and hours and hours and refine parts of it and think about it and go, no, this should go here, and then it should make people feel this thing, and like all of that, which at the start mightn't have maybe necessarily come. I think it probably does come from her now as well, and she's probably grown into it. But that's an example of there's always these kind of partnerships, I think, between same way we have in Exhale. It's like, if I don't have everyone else in Exhale to like bounce off of, and then bounce off me, and us bounce off each other, then you don't. Yeah, I can't do any of this without like a Josh or a Martin or. So I think partnerships is what it is a lot of the time. It's the partnerships with the right people. And I think that's also what makes me believe in things a lot of the time. Is if I see, well, it's that whole quote about what was it? Your network is your net worth, all that kind of shit.
You believe that, yeah?
I think you can believe it on a direct financial business one. Yeah, it's definitely true. But I think it's also true I can see very, very clearly how strong or weak a group of people are by just meeting the whole team, if you get me, or just like being exposed to different people.
As Jim Rohn would say, you're the average of the 5 people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jim Rohn's the
goat.
The one, yeah.
Jim Rohn is the goat, man. Tell me, just because some key insights, I probably derailed you there, small bit, but like attitudes for people to become successful. You touch on confidence and self-belief. Anything else play into it? They are obviously the main two, first off.
I think empathy. I think empathy.
Empathy, yeah.
I don't think you can be. I think the best leaders are really, really empathetic, and I think.
That's so true.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Did you find you were quite empathetic?
I'm definitely very, very. I think I'd be a horrific person if I wasn't naturally empathetic.
Yeah,
I think if I didn't have that trait, I could be a really shit person. Just because the same way it's the same way with a fighter. Like a fighter, a lot of great fighters are incredible people.
Yeah,
because the level of discipline and the level of, again, just self-work that they have to do. You got no choice but to be a great man in real life, because you're doing all this work. But when you take a 17-year-old or a 16-year-old who might be slightly stronger or bigger in like physical ability, but is just like pissed off and frustrated and full of hormones and 17, and you don't shape it into something, it's like the two things. I think empathy, or just like, there's a bunch of different variables: empathy, discipline, guidance from other people, mentorship, all these things. So I think for me, if I didn't have empathy, I would, or like a natural empathy, I think I could be just this like manic, crazy kind of person.
Empathy's key, man. Empathy's definitely key too.
So yeah, I think, and also that's being a leader, is being able to lead, like to take people and bring them to somewhere that everyone's trying to go, and that's all empathy. If you don't understand and feel the connection of someone, or feel where and also people aren't going to tell you a lot of the time, so you got to be able to pick up on it.
So that's why leaders have to be very intuitive as well.
Yeah. Intuition's a huge one.
Excuse me. Man, that's so accurate.
What do you think it is? I'm interested to see about
attitudes and success. There's a few key components there. First off, if I know someone's going to go on and be successful, they, like you said, have confidence in their abilities. They have the self-belief that they can go on and do it. And they have the strategy and knowing of how to get there. They've kind of got a roadmap for it as well. There's definitely a few key components, and then I find if you're really hitting all three of them, let's say the self-belief, the confidence, and the skill set and ability and the mindset as well to get there, it will happen for you. And then, like you said, you naturally form into just leading your own life. I think that's the most important, leading your own life. And then if you can lead yourself, you can lead others, you can go on and lead a movement. But I think attitude is very key for success in life, because if you don't have the attitude of, if you don't have the attitude, that's a good question, man. If you don't have the attitude of like knowing that you can go do it, it's hard for you to succeed.
I also think the attitude is, and again, it's something that you can actually apply to any day-to-day thing. Like when I used to work in the bar, and this is a really interesting one just from a psychology point of view. I read this thing that was every 40 minutes and again, I don't actually know how true this. This is just something I read. So like, it could be a load of bollocks, and I'm completely wrong.
Go for.
But there's this something I read around that your mood naturally like resets every like 40 minutes or 45 minutes. Or there's kind of like a switch that naturally happens every 40 minutes or so. So when I was working in a bar and you're doing a 10, 11 hour shift and you're in the same position doing the same thing for a long period of time, I could start to see it. I could start to see these loops of like, you know, for 40 minutes I'd be pissed off, and for 40 minutes I'd be engaged, and I'd actually be able to get into it for a bit, and I'd be excited, and I'd be serving people, whatever.
Yeah.
And what you realize in just a job like that, because it's a perfect like backdrop to explore it, is it's the attitude. Because you can have a good day or a shit day. There's only one variable. It's the same environment. It's the same people you're dealing with. It's the same work you're doing. It's the same.
It's what you're telling yourself the whole time.
But it's what's your attitude to it. And 99% of the time, if you have a great attitude and you're very optimistic about things and just happy to be there, wherever that is.
Yeah. That is when you hit the nail on the head. It's the story you're telling yourself.
Yeah.
It really is. Sorry,
because that's true. Whatever that story is.
Whatever that story is,
yeah.
and that's going to inform your way of being, which is your attitude towards the world. And that's what people pick up on.
Yeah.
People know if someone has a good attitude and they have a positive and optimistic outlook on life, and they bring a certain type of energy into a situation. I couldn't get the words.
No, you're good.
I couldn't get the words there, but that's why I think attitude is so important for success, because unless you have that self-belief, confidence, and then that willingness to go out there and work and just like be someone that other people want to be around, because like you are not going to create anything in this life in the absence of people. It's always going to be in the presence of others, and that's why your own attitude, your energy you show up with is critical to the success of a project. Tell me, you touched on Jim Rohn, right?
Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah,
we got to hit it, right? So what I have is 5 quotes here from Jim Rohn, and I'm just looking for your own insight, Finn, and then we will shortly finish up. But anyway, number 1 is, Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better.
Yes.
What does that mean for you, or how have you applied that to your own life?
That is the best one, I think.
Yeah, that is the number 1.
The one that's stuck in my head since I was very young. What does that mean? Well, basically, it's just a complete rejection of like a victim mentality, and I even find that something. I was literally saying this to Martin last night. I was like, I keep falling into this thing where I'm like, why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
Like, fucking, I don't deserve this. Which, again, also ties with the law of attraction. It's like, when you're trying to learn and understand what that is, a big problem that people run into is they're like, yeah, but this awful thing happened in my life, and I keep having these bad things, but I'm not a bad person, so why the fuck are these things happening?
Yeah.
But that quote is a perfect example. It's like, don't wish that it was easier, just wish that you
were better. Wish you had the capabilities and skill set to adapt to a situation.
100%. Don't
wish it was more simpler. Like, sometimes in life we're being tested, whether that's by God or the universe. It's like, you know, build something inside of yourself, whether that's character, skill set, or discipline, to overcome it.
Yeah. And it's an opportunity. Again, it's an opportunity to prove yourself. I had a couple of those this week, like difficult things that I had to like navigate and negotiate. And I was going into it, and literally the same thing in my head went, why the fuck do I, like, this is so, you know, like, unfair. Like, literally talking like a kid. Like, this is so unfair that I have to, that, like, this is happening or whatever. And then immediately catch yourself with a quote like that, and you're like, no, this is my opportunity to be better.
Yeah.
Go straight
and use it as opportunities. That's a good, perfect set. All right, number 2. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Ooh.
That's a great one too.
How does that look like for yourself in your own life?
I think
because you're obviously constantly you're like pushing the envelope forward, or you're getting, you know, you're moving things forward each and every day, pushing the needle.
Yeah, I think it works 2 ways. So there's like how I'm explaining it when I'm like dealing with artists or anyone that we work with, and then there's my own personal way. I think in both ways, everyone's looking for the new unlock, and it's always the same things you've always been doing being done better. Okay. So like, let's say it's posted on TikTok, and everyone's posting on TikTok. And like that's the focus, and then someone goes, yeah, but what's the new sauce? Maybe it's AI influencers and running that up, and it's like, yeah, it could be that might be useful, or might have a thing, but all you need to do is do this thing 10% better, and you're going to get a way bigger response. And I think that's the truth to that, is it's only 3 or 4 things, but how well you can do them again and again,
repeatedly.
Again, it's all in the detail. It's in the detail of the thing you're already doing. There isn't an exciting next thing. It's just this thing better. And that leads to new places. So,
I love that, man. That's brilliantly done. This next one definitely applies to you, because you're working inside of a team of 10, like you said, but you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So environment shapes your identity.
Yeah.
And how does that look for yourself inside of Exhale?
Yeah, I think For us, it's... I think that's
actually a good question. What's the ethos of Exhale?
Yeah. We can talk about that all day.
If you could give me a summary.
Yeah. I think the ethos of Exhale is every single person in it, and this is the only thing I hire off of as well, is I'm just trying to find all the people that haven't been given an opportunity. Ooh. And I think that's because that's how I feel. That's just how, and obviously that's not the case anymore. Now we get loads of opportunities, but I took like years, like so much longer than the normal person because I started so young, but still didn't get it right every single year. So the ethos, one, it's a very Irish-led thing because I think that's super important to us. Like it's nearly a whole like 95% Irish team, with a little blend of like sides of people's backgrounds and stuff, but the core is all Irish. And I think it also represents all different sides of Ireland through different like immigrant stories as well and different things, which is beautiful. But what am I saying? Yeah, the ethos is basically we want to prove that you can do it with your friends and that you can do it completely. You don't have to do it the way it's being done. And I know that kind of sounds very basic and very like everything is, but I think if you look at every day, and also that you don't have to what's the word? Give up what you believe to reach success. And like every week there's opportunities where I could be like, oh, we could do that deal or we can make that money. Like even gambling companies is a perfect example. The kind of work we do, very, very valuable to gambling companies. But I hate gambling. I think gambling is the most vile thing in the world.
It's shocking as well, man.
Yeah, we talked on this too. So so for me, gambling is like one of the darkest, just like spiritually, it's one of the darkest kind of arts and things you can do.
Man, yeah, that's such a brilliant point.
We could get like a £500,000 contract anywhere from a gambling company, and that would be life changing for us.
But that would go against your own
integrity. But it goes
integrity.
against what it is, because all we want to do is work on cool music stuff, retain our freedom, and make sure we all stay friends and keep an ethos of integrity. So I think it's the integrity to do it our way, and also it's a little bit tribal as well. I'd say it's kind of like living outside of the system a little bit, because none of us, like, the reason you know about me is because I'm the only one that's in the industry, and that's positioned that way. Everyone else out of the industry stays focused, working on what they're working on. We've got like one mouthpiece, which is Finn, who's negotiating that part of it. So I think the ethos is just how far can we take it while holding our integrity.
You know, that's the sign of a leader as well, where you give credit to everyone in the group. I'm not saying that you're the leader of Exhale, but I'm saying even how you've spoken here today, you show the importance of each and every team member, and that like you're not above anyone else.
No, you can't be. You can't be.
That's a fucking brilliant attitude for someone to hit home.
But on that too, I think, and this is maybe the part that's very interesting, and when you have I can only compare it to like a team, a football team or a sports team that's trained together for like 10 years, because it's positioning. The striker's job is to score. That doesn't mean the striker's more valuable than the winger. So you have to have a winger who's able to set up. And if you take away the winger, you're fucked. So the strike, and also it's in that dynamic, the striker's job is also to be the star. And no one should feel any other way about that, because it's their job to celebrate. It's their job to elevate the brand of the club when they score, and they do their celebration and they bring it back and be the star, and then also do the PR afterwards, and then take all the controversy. Like, there's good and bad to every part of it. You get to be the star. You also can't be seen anywhere in public with anyone, otherwise your fucking head's on the board, and where you rank in that team. So I think that's kind of how we look at it, is everyone has authority in a space. And everyone knows who to lean on for what authority. So many decisions I will never make without, because I have like a tendency to get too excited. I have a tendency to not ground myself if I'm going into something. So I'll immediately just call Josh and Martin. I'm like, I'm trying to do this, and they go, bring it down. Like, bring it down, back to basics. Go say this. Do not say anything about all that. So right, fuck yeah.
And that's why advisors are so important. And like you touched on, excitement is a great feeling, but you can actually lose control of yourself. You get too excited. And I love the word that came after that you just said there, being grounded. Have a bit of excitement, but like have them people that bring it down, man, because you turn it down a notch. But beautifully said. I'm going to actually ask you follow-up questions to this one.
It's a great idea.
What would you say the key value is that yourself and everyone inside Exhale share, like collectively? What is the one key value that you, as a group mentality, as a business that's growing together, the accomplishments you're and the clients that you're getting on board? But anyway, the point I'm trying to make, what is the one key value that each person has within the group, or of the group?
It's a really good question. I think everyone has a sense of optimism. I think everyone's very optimistic. Shows in loads of different ways, but I think everyone's optimistic. And I think everyone is... Everyone knows the privilege in... I think this is probably the why you can keep such a team engaged, because loads of parts is shit. Like loads of parts that are not fun, not exciting, really, really boring that you have to do every day. I think everyone has a conviction to knowing that it's a privilege to do anything we're doing. And I think because everyone feels that in some way, anytime we're doing something that's tough or we're going through something bad, or when it's like a task as much as maybe it's just editing 100 videos, and like as much as that can be fun, it's not that fun. When you gotta get them all done, you gotta get them done in 2 hours, and you gotta get 100 videos. It's just shit. But I think you can do it because you're like, if I drop this, then I'm not showing I'm grateful for it. And I think everyone has that kind of sense of gratitude, and to do what they're doing is a privilege. And also, I think the real thing is that no one has any other option. I would say, like, bar maybe 1 or 2 members of Exhale who are very skilled, they could work anywhere. But I think a lot of us came into it knowing that, I didn't finish school, no, I went to college. A couple of others of us are like that too, and then there's some very academic people in Excel. And I think it's just a blend of everyone knows that they couldn't really be doing anything else, and because of that, you gotta just like give it the respect and
gotta go all in.
Gratitude, I guess.
I love that. So
sorry, that was a shit answer.
No. Well, look, the value of optimism is key, man, and like that you said, like that keeps you going because you've no other plan B.
Yeah,
which is beautiful. Beautiful. Right.
Yeah, no plan B.
No plan B. Number 4. You'll definitely understand this one, but discipline is a bridge between the goals and accomplishment, and it just means that motivation starts the thing. Discipline is what keeps you going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hard to agree with that one. I don't think there's much you can say.
Yeah, not too much.
That's the one.
This last one kind of applies to you more than anything, because based on just what you said a moment ago. But formal education will make you a living, and self-education will make you a fortune.
Yeah. I think for me, I never want to like make it seem as if education isn't important, because it is. Yeah. It's super important, and it's down to whatever. Well, again, it's just contextual to what you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to do the role I've played, you probably don't need much education. You just need to be around and discovering. And
but you have still educated yourself.
Yeah, in loads of different ways. Yeah, but I think there's a skill to all of it. Like I think, and again, that's why I say in Excel we got some people who've got 1-1s in degrees and 2-1s in degrees and have done really, really well. Like and just chose to do this instead. So I think education overall is the most important thing. Yeah. But I think you have to the same way if someone's trying to sell you something on the street and you're very skeptical of it, I think you have to be really skeptical of the education you want to take in. So like, again, if you look at a college course and you're like, right, this college course leads to this, really think about that. Like really think, if I do a psychology degree, how can I use that? And be like, well, not understanding psychology is just valuable, full stop. Even if you don't become a psychologist, that's something that you can apply to virtually any role.
You've ever had a thought in your life.
Yeah. Any role. And I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah.
So I think if you're picking a college route, you should really think about how that thing could apply to everything you're doing. Yeah. All of your interests. Same way for me, if I had gone to college, and to any artist or any like music person, I would say study marketing or study business building, because they're the 2 things you have to know about in order to you can't go studying songwriting. You should already know how to do that. Yeah. You got to do that by just being surrounded by that every day. You can't do that in a college environment, in my opinion. But go and do marketing and then learn those pieces while you're spending all your other time being around the right artists and music and songwriters. So I think that's kind of an answer.
And you are self-educated, man. Like
completely.
Yeah.
Mentors as well. I think just you should have like the right giving every little aspect of your life like almost a person that's like counsel on it. I think that's really important. Like
someone that's
having someone that you could like. The same people I respect for like how much money they've made are not necessarily the people I respect on like a family side or on a how I want my life to look. So I think having all the different counsel in the different places
so
you can call, and I think
different
if every person can build that to some degree, it's very, very useful.
Yeah.
Do you have that? How do you find?
I do. I've got different people that will be older than me that are further ahead that I come to for different advice, different things, and it's so important.
You give the vibe that you think a lot about that as well.
Yeah, well, I think it's just like get advice from someone that's 10 years ahead of you in the game.
Yeah,
it's critical. You know,
it's so important.
And look, at the end of the day, life is a lot about experience at the same time.
Yeah,
but it's good to have them knowledge gaps of where you could make the right step instead of just trial and error.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Finn. Man,
James.
What a pleasure. Thank you so much for this. I knew this would be a fucking banging conversation. And the insights are something else. And just the trajectory you're on and what you built with Exhale and you as yourself, man, it's incredible. And I just wish you the best in 2026 and beyond. And hopefully this is something more to come as well.
For sure. And same to you. I think it's... What was I going to say on this? I had it in my head when I was coming over. I think what you're doing is really, really important. I think you sit, and this is why I wanted to do your one, is you sit in a place... between so many different things. You're someone who's sitting on a physical and a coaching side and on a just being a fucking top man and relating to people on that side, but I think you're also bridging the gap with really great questions and like again just the sensitive side of things, of being able to basically give a man the full spectrum of what they need to kind of take in, I think. And I think that's again what a Jim Rohn does. It's what a lot of great voices. I don't even want to put it into like a presenter or a coach. It's just all of it. But I think you're bridging that gap, and I think you're a great role model.
Man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that compliment so much. But like the feeling is completely mutual, man. Like there's a reason why I have great guests like yourself on. You're elevating the room. You're clearly a man of value, and you're doing great things to the world.
Thank you.
Like I said before, this has been an absolute pleasure. So we'll definitely do this again at some stage, man.
We will.
In 2026 some stage. Thank you so much, man. And I'll catch you on the next one. Boom. Woo!
Hell yeah.
Nice, man. That was good.
Boom.
I love that, man. I love that. You feel